Chaudhary and Srimati G. Vijayalakshmi on 28th May 1964 in Karamchedu village, Prakanpur. Did his graduation in BCom in Andhra Vidyalaya College of Arts and Sciences, Hyderabad, and LLB in Andhra Christian. Had started his career as a lecturer in Law College in Guntur before being enrolled as an advocate in 1991. Sir had cleared the Advocate on Record examination and became an advocate on record in the Supreme Court in the year 2000. Syllabus for Environmental Law in Faculty of Law, Delhi University.
Now I request N.S. Raghavarshini, who has scored highest marks. Request Karthik Shah, who has scored highest marks in 10. For the academic year 2020-21, now I request N.S. Raghavarshini, who has scored highest marks in administrative law, to come on to the dais and receive the gold medal. Congratulations to all the gold medal winners. Thank you.
Hello. Kucho.
So now felicitation to Honorable E. Damodar Garu. Our student has taken great pains for portraying the painting of Sri Honorable Sri Justice Lao Nageswara Garu, and he will be presented. Now, vote of thanks.
Good morning to each one of you. President of today's function, Professor Devakar Babu Garu, the patron of this endowment lecture, Justice Lao Nageswara Garu, Justice Ramakrishna Prasad Garu, members of the management, Rajaya Garu, Lakshmanarayana Garu, Lalit Prasad Garu, that me and Justice Ramakrishna Prasad will be taking questions. He is particularly appreciative of the participative approach of the students who put so many intelligent questions to him. Hence, he was called upon to institute this endowment lecture here. And I fully sail with him because when I entered this law college yesterday, I was impressed with one saying, and for which I congratulate the principal and also the management for maintaining the quality of legal education. That is, no attendance, no scholarship. No attendance, no examination. I have visited many law institutions, including the Nansar in Hyderabad. This type of caution is not available in many institutions that I have visited. That shows, perhaps that is reflected upon your ability to be participative in putting intelligent questions. And I knew just Sri Venkatesh GARU. It's a revelation to me that he has opened a library. Maybe because of that, because of his upbringing, Justice Lao Naishra has brought laurels to us in the country. I knew at the end of this he will reprimand me. At the cost of being reprimanded, let me share a few intimate things about his gentle personality. He rejected twice the judgeship from the bar to the bench. Third time when Chief Justice P.S. Thakur made a reference to him to appeal to his conscience that the quality of Supreme Court should also be rebounded, he agreed and joined without batting his eyelid. At that time it was calculated, had he continued his practice at the prevailing rate of fees that he charges, he would have earned more than 800 crores of rupees. He sacrificed all that. 800 crores we have calculated. Secondly, he became a judge. His son-in-law was practicing in Delhi. The first casualty is his son-in-law who was asked to leave Delhi. Whereas we know many other judges whose family members even stay in the official residences in practice. The third casualty is he was a senior counsel. Other lawyers engage him and pay him free, collecting it from the clients. On the day, no, that is how the senior counsel charges. But on the day he became the judge, he was due to receive from those engaged him 22 crores. As a matter of principle, having become a judge, I should not accept a single rupee from the lawyers, stating he declined. 22 crores he wrote off. Out of humility, he doesn't share it with everybody, but having known him, I am sharing it with you to appreciate what a noble person he is for having instituted, and such a noble person, out of love and affection for you, the law students, has instituted this to disseminate the lecture, to disseminate the information. Justice Ramakrishna Prasad has looked at the issue of due process of law from within the framework of the existing law, existing justice system. I am not a jurist nor was a judge, but my credibility to be in front of you, my credibility to be, last row are somehow talking very avidly, girl students, pay attention to me. It is arranged at a very huge cost. This lecture anyway. My credibility to be in front of you is, I had a ringside view of the operation of the criminal law for 33 plus years. After superannuation, I now have a gallery view of the operation of the criminal law. So I look at it not as a judge from the profundity of the constitutional principles, but as a common man. Is this justice system rendering what is due to me? I have chosen this topic deliberately to provoke you, the law students, and also the members of the public here into thinking and form a different opinion. Justice Ramakrishna Prasad mentioned that Parliament is supreme in the British constitutional scheme. They don't have a written constitution. Even here, judicial review was conferred on Supreme Court, but only to validate or invalidate the actions of the legislature and the executive. What if the constitution is amended? It is a great constitutional silence in our Indian constitution. Constitution never says what should judiciary do if the constitution itself is amended? It says the constitution as given to us by Ambedkar and others, legislative acts and executive actions. But what if the constitution is amended? So this has been settled with the theory of basic structure by Nani Falkewala, who argued this Keshavananda Bharati case for 38 days before the Supreme Court, before a bench of 13 judges. Though Keshavananda Bharati did not get the relief, it gave tremendous contribution to Indian constitution and Indian polity. The basic structure theory, free and fair elections, judicial review, etc. And they said, preamble is a constitution, part of the constitution. It's not just a visiting card. And the preamble says, we the people, we are a democratic country, and our constitution opens the word, we the people. In a democracy, it is we the people, they are the sovereign entity. Not the judges, not the officials, bureaucrats, not the ministers. It is we the people, the electors. How do we the people, the sovereign entity of our polity, look at our criminal justice system? This is the question that I am trying to pose before you. This is topical because Government of India has recently constituted a committee. It is an announcement was made on the Parliament stating our criminal justice system should be comprehensively looked at with a view to jettisoning it of the colonial baggage. Our criminal system is colonial. It is not suited to the temperament and salience of a democracy, an independent democracy, because all these things were evolved, enacted and grounded and in practice since colonial days. But we are no longer a colony, we are an independent country. Not only that, I add another thing to it. When this criminal justice system was drafted, that was a bullock cartage. Today, we are in a digital age. The nature of the crimes, the patterns of the crime, the modus operandi of the crime have undergone drastic changes. The other day, my daughter visited Bali. She wanted to apply for a visa. More than that, more than 8,000 rupees was deducted from my account, from my credit card. In Indonesia, I am helpless. What to do? This type of eventualities that the technology poses, our justice system has not factored. So taking this into account, we should have a critical look at the macro level of the justice system. Only then the common man will be happy. Justice Sirpurkur Commission found fault with 10 police officers of Cyberabad for they have eliminated innocents instead of dispensing, bringing them to the door of justice dispensation, they themselves have dispensed justice. That is the grave pain now. Let us not go into the merits of it. But when those 4 people were eliminated, I have seen with my own eyes public applauding the police with 2 lorry loads of flower petals. Police were applauded by the public, we the people. It may not be legal, but look at the writing on the wall. And I have seen more than 15 to 20 flexes right from the Shamshabad airport to saying Jai Jai. Because they were fed up with the dilatory nature, prolonged nature, justice not being meted out in our system for the last 75 years. So a common man gave vent to his dissatisfaction with this criminal justice system that way. Hence, we the people want a thorough look at it, and a small beginning has been made by the Government of India by appointing a committee. So hence I am navigating to you on that only. By way of prefatory remarks, some of you are here from non-legal background. Laws are generally classified into civil and criminal. Again further classified into substantive and procedural. When I say justice system, my focus is on procedural system. After Nirbhaya Act, new types of crimes have been brought in IPC. Punishment has been enhanced, but still the wheels of justice were going at the same snail's pace. Because they are not aware, you may be giving a Bentley car to your son or son-in-law, but if the roads are what they are in Andhra Pradesh, there is no use unless the procedural law is also amended in sync with it, you can't get the wheels of justice. And our procedural law, which constitutes the core of our criminal justice system, is far from adequate. I am being very, very polite. These procedural laws, what are the? Criminal Procedure Code, Criminal Rules of Practice issued by several respective high courts, Bankers Book of Evidence Act, to some extent Stamps and Registration Act, and some provisions in the Information Technology Act in about some evidence, about digital evidence. But even though CRPC is titled 1973, it is 99.9% old CRPC drafted by Thomas Bovington Macaulay. In 73, what was brought about was a small separation between a judge and executive, and some ad hoc provisions like legal aid, anticipatory bail, etc. Otherwise, the procedure remains the same thing. And it is not, to borrow a phrase recently from Mr. Harish Salve, it fails the test of yes, see, yes. Our criminal justice system is not swift, it is not certain, punishment is not certain, and even if it is meted out, punishment is not sufficient. Should we continue with that? Is an elected happy with the system? He may be unmuted today. Some of you would have forgotten. Suresh Kalmadi, Olympics man, he brought such a disrepute to our country by swindling the funds of Commonwealth Games. Nothing has happened to him, the funds have not come back. The tainted image of our country still remains what it was. Our justice system could not bring him to book. Vijay Mallya, the less I speak, the better it is. Telgi, action abated him because he died. Justice system did not punish him. Ketan Parekh, the stamp Ketan Parekh scam they say. Arshad Mehta, many of you thinking Arshad Mehta case is over. No, the poor fellow died due to cardiac arrest while in custody, but his brother and others are still facing the trial. I don't know how long it will be facing. And they have rigged the economy of our country. Rigged the economy, caused untold misery to our economy, and our justice system is not able to do anything. Should we continue to persist with this type of legal justice, criminal justice system? That is the fundamental question. You, as the budding lawyers, should think about while practicing law, within the framework of the existing law, you should also have something higher, something profound to know whether what we have is good or sufficient. That is the reason why, with the view to provoking you, assuming that you are participative and thinking law students, I am raising these questions before you. We have Sacham Ramalingaraju. Corporate governance, he ill-defined. Millions and millions of small investors have become paupers, and I see him rolling in wealth in his palatial mansion in Jubilee Hills, with his daughter-in-law filming movies. So this is the justice system. I am facing it not from the point of a judge. As I told you, I have a ringside view and also a gallery view. Combining both, I am saying this. Accused in parliament case. We all have seen how the financial capital of our country was wrecked by Kasab, live, and how much time it took to bring Kasab to book. How many safeguards? Why so much? Why our system is loaded, tilted in favor of lawbreaker with so many safeguards, not in favor of a lawbreaker? The attack on parliament, the supreme seat of sovereignty. Still, those professors from JNU who are the conspirators are yet to be brought to book. They are all continuing on stay, taking advantage of the procedural comfort. Now, contrast this with American justice system. They also had a constitutional silence. Justice Ramakrishna Prasad has mentioned it. They had the biggest unforgivable omission when they drafted the constitution. They forgot to include fundamental rights in their constitution, Bill of Rights. Subsequently, they realized and amended the constitution 14 times. They have only 27 amendments so far, of them 14 are at one go to incorporate what are called Bill of Rights equal to Part 3 of Indian Constitution. Like our constitutional silence saying who is parliament, constitution or parliament. Now American justice system, I will give you one case, Rajat Gupta. He was the Dean of Indian School, Chairman of McKinsey, President of Goldman Sachs. He, being a member of Goldman Sachs, happened to have made a telephone call for a couple of minutes to Rajaratnam, Chairman of Galleon Hedge, a stockbroker. That's all. What he spoke, it is not proof beyond a reasonable doubt. On a probability that he would have divulged the secrets, he was convicted. Can this happen in our country? Should we not learn from such progressive countries? Should we still continue to be with colonial system of criminal justice system? That is why, and mind you, American Constitution also begins with the word, a preamble, we the people. We also begin, our Constitution also opens with we the people. There we the people wanted, because of their awareness levels being very high, change, they got the change, and here the awareness levels have to be built up. Perhaps it is with that intentionally Justice Lavanageshwar Rao to promote awareness, to disseminate critical information, has instituted this type of endowment lecture among the intelligentsia and thinking young budding lawyers. Now why our continuous say the entire information technology world, the entire commercial world, e-commerce world would not be dominated by Indians. We are having an edge ahead of others, ahead of the Chinese because of English. I got it from recently from his latest biographer, Domenico Losardo. He says, I quote, Macaulay acknowledged that the English colonies in India, Macaulay acknowledged that the English colonies in India behaved like Spartans, confronting helots, lords treating the slaves, we the Indians, the subjects. We are dealing with a race of sovereign or sovereign caste wielding absolute power over its serfs. We were serfs. So to help the people being a humanist, he gave, as a member of the law, as a law member in the Viceroy Council, gave this criminal jurisprudence which suited colonial days because he wanted to safeguard us, the subjects, the ruled from the atrocities of the ruler. Hence, that is why there are so many safeguards, because anybody can be caught under British regime, a lawbreaker. So law was hence tilted in favor of lawbreaker, and we are still continuing. What are this Anglo-Saxon jurisprudence has certain basic foundations. They say, let 100 people go scot-free, no innocent should suffer. Why? To safeguard the society, let one innocent suffer. Already millions and millions of innocents are suffering in our justice system. This is the critical thinking of the people. Proof beyond any shadow of doubt. Many of the cases low conviction is because they are not acquitted honorably. They are discharged because prosecution failed to prove the case beyond any shadow of doubt. That means 95% evidence is against him, 5% is ambivalent, he is acquitted. Why? Has this happened in Rajat Gupta's case? There are many such examples in country. President Junior Bush's daughter was found drunk. She was not subject to any test, etc. On a mere statement of the police, they were convicted. When their father was the President of the United States. Can this happen in our country under our judicial system? Are taking shelter under it because they are not convicted, and conviction will take longer, decades and decades, and they will continue to be gentlemen. As gentlemen, they are entitled to contest, and they contest and they perpetuate that. How it is, I give you 2-3 examples. That is the reason why when this colonial system was there in 1902, Lord Curzon has once cryptically remarked, he failed to harass Indians the way he wanted. So what he said was, The Indian criminal justice system is like an elephant, very stately and majestic to look at, but very slow in its movement. He expressed his frustration like that. Till today it continues to be like this. Very stately and majestic, very grandiose edifice our justice system. But when it comes to delivering, very huge dam, but there is no water in the dam to irrigate the fields. It's because our criminal justice system is based on adversarial system, not inquisitorial system, as is the case in America. Here, Justice Krishna who said, I only decide if two cocks are fighting, I decide which cocks has fought better. Mr. Rajaya may be having some property. I knock away and that gentleman knocks away. We file saying his father-in-law told me, etc. The truth is he is the man, keeps quiet. And between we two, whoever fights higher, louder in the court, he gets the title, not the truth. In the adversarial system, the emphasis is not on truth but on proof. When I was garlanding the justice of I thought Dave should come one day when she will remove that mask and seize it. Justice delayed is justice denied, they say. When the truth fails, justice fails. And truth is failing in our country. Notwithstanding noble efforts by our judiciary, particularly the Supreme Court. I think in this very forum, the previous speaker, Chief Justice Ramana has mentioned it, process is the punishment. Our justice system, process itself is punishment. Today, I got it as an October 22, National Crimes Record Bureau gives the figure, 5,54,034 are the prison population in our country. 5,54,000. Of them, 77.1% are under trial prisoners, the gentlemen who are not convicted. Process itself is the punishment because they are not able to come out of the bail, notwithstanding the very noble ruling by the Supreme Court of India, bail, not jail, is the rule. What to do? Because the provision is like that. Then we have what is called a huge pendency, docket explosion. Justice Krishna has called this phrase docket explosion. Union Law Minister made a statement in the Parliament. High courts for more than 10 years. Of these, 1.82 lakh cases are for more than 30 years. More than 30 years. And 23% of cases are pending for more than 5 years in sessions courts at the district level. This implies that if no cases are filed, if all our courts in India stop accepting any case, it will take 1.3 years to our Supreme Court and High Courts, around 3 years to remove this pendency. If they stop accepting any new cases, High Courts and Supreme Court. This is a study made by PRS report. PRS, a Delhi-based research of law. Same data collected by Delhi-based non-profit PRS legislators revealed that in the last 1 decade, pendency of court cases in India grew by 12.8% annually. Every year, 12.8, nearly 13% cases are growing. So we can imagine how slowly the wheels of justice are moving, all because of the procedural safeguards loaded in favor of India. Niti Aayog have conducted a paper. It's a successor organization of Planning Commission. They say in 2018, at the prevailing rate of disposal of cases in our courts, it would take more than, you may not believe it, but it is a presentation of Niti Aayog, it would take more than 324 years to clear the backlog in Indian courts. Guilty, having delivered a judgment in what is that infamous ADM Jaburpur case, where it says liberty is the gift of law, so law can take away the liberty. Subsequently, Supreme Court realized its mistake and reversed it, but they are feeling it. Hence, they admitted it. Since then, PIL sets her account. Because of her contribution, she is called the mother of bills, and her portrait is hung in the library of Supreme Court. I expect law students here to get inspired by such noble examples, not merely practicing. I'll give 2-3 cases which will further substantiate it. First, I said our law is not in sync with the digital age. We have a section called 207 CRPC. It says for every accused, the prosecution, that is the fellow who complained or his representative, has to give all the copies of the charge sheet including the evidence to the accused. It was alright in colonial age when we were being overloaded, but today under 207 it still exists. Now look at it, how anachronistic it is in today's digital technology. I'll give you the case of Ocean Steels. Ocean Steels was started by two brothers from Chandigarh. They started many steel plants in Orissa. Their contribution, their initial capital is 30 lakhs. After taking advantage of the digital technology, by resorting to what are called circuitous transactions, it was not there when CRPC was there made. When by resorting to round tripping, like that, making use of digital technology, they have floated 156 so-called suitcase companies and looted, swindled the exchequer, public sector banks to the tune of 45,818 crores. 30 lakhs is the initial amount. Amount drawn away, siphoned away from the public and the public economy is 45,818 crores. SFIO, Special Fraud Investigation Organization, investigate this. It is an expert body, not police. Banking, legal, chartered accounts, all are the experts in that. It is constituted under the Companies Act and reports to the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. They have filed a charge sheet excluding the enclosures, statements of the witnesses, documentary evidence. The body of the charge sheet alone is 70,000 pages. And the accused are 238. So a lawyer gave a statement, I quote from Hindustan Times report. The trial may not finish during the lifetime of present lawyers and accused. I have excerpted it from Hindustan Times. A lawyer who is appearing for one of the accused or a few of the accused has quoted as saying, the trial may not finish during the lifetime of present lawyers and the accused. As they have 238 accused, the trial cannot be held in the courtroom. They have to find a football ground. Also, the SFI has to print over 3 crore pages if a hard copy of the charge sheet is to be supplied to each of the accused as mandated under section 207 CRPC. 207 CRPC is hard copy. Why not we amend this? Make it in sync with the digital age. Make it easier for the prosecution. Why are you helping those rascals with 30 lakhs, taken away 45,808 crores from our economy? Is not the process, the very, what should I say, the very platform of prosecution, punishing the prosecutors? That is the justice system that we have today. I'll give you 2 more examples. We have section 195 and section 340 CRPC. It says if an offence takes place within the 4 walls of the court, police have no jurisdiction. Under section 195(2), it has to be sent to a judge for inquiry under section 340 CRPC. Taking advantage of this provision, I give you the case of Mr. Anthony Raju. It appeared in Malayalam Manorama 2 months back, and also in the Hindu as a lead article. Mr. Anthony Raju is the Kerala Transport Minister. He was an ordinary lawyer, what we call in Telugu Chittikandu pleader. He appeared for a drug addict of an Australian national and got him acquitted on the plea. The police say that some 6.7 grams of hashish are recovered from his knicker, but he was not wearing knicker. He was only wearing a cut drawer which cannot hold that much. Based on that point, he was discharged. He was escorted out of this country. The police officer said, no, I have even recorded the measurements of the knicker. How could it be? He filed it, by which time that man has left. No action was taken on the protest of the police officer. It was lying in. 14 years later, the same fellow was caught in Australia on a murder case. There he makes a confession, where confession before the police is valid, about his previous convictions and incarcerations. And there he says, I was jailed in there. This is how I escaped. Some minister has helped me. Some lawyer. The lawyer gave the money to the court staff. I gave such and such a money. He confessed it. Since it is drug related, Interpol was informed. CBI again back to Kerala. And again back to Kerala. Now that gentleman is 5 times MLA of Trivandrum, representing some Prajahita Congress faction. He is now a transport minister. He moved the court, and 2 months back Kerala High Court stayed further proceedings on him, taking comfort under section 340, saying the court where it happened, the one immediately above it should file the complaint. But in this case, the High Court of Kerala, having examined the administrator, directed the district principal judge to take action. He directed the Sheristadar of his court. He has no locus standi. So on the grounds of propriety, it was stayed 2 months back, and the gentleman is ruling the state of Kerala. This is a live case. This is our justice system. As lawyers, we have to think about these things. I'll quote another case and wind up my speech. All of you know Aleru scam. Law students may not know. To take water to Visakhapatnam steel plant, 546 acres of lands were acquired from the farmers. In those days, the value of the land was a few thousands. Pothinaidu, Villa Swami, sub-judge, junior civil judge of Anakapalli sub-court, holding additional charge of junior civil judge Chodavaram. He was only the regular charge one court, other court. These cases fall under these two sub-courts, on the junior civil judge courts. He colluded with the staff, lawyer and bank, sub-manager of the Andhra Bank, convinced the farmers and filed OPs. 270 OPs, original petitions were filed for asking enhancement. It was granted quite inexorably to the tune of crores, the present rate of the value in those days. And all the money did not go to the farmers. It was knocked away by the judge, the bench clerk and the lawyer. Only a petty sum of 1 lakh or 2 was given to the farmers. It appeared in the newspaper, press was vigilant. CID of Andhra Pradesh investigated. While they were investigating, they found out it happened within the 4 walls of it, and section 340, it calls for inquiry. They referred the matter to the High Court. Meanwhile, Mr. M.A.N. Pathudu, the then Registrar Management of Composite State of AP High Court, wrote to say the Chief Justice is concerned about it. Please investigate the cases. They have investigated, listed out the accused, and evidence, and sent it to the Judge High Court for filing of proper complaints as laid down under section 340 and 195 CRPC. 2 judges of the then AP High Court looked at the issue from the administrative point of view, Justice Bayapareddy and Justice Srivastava. They referred the matter to Visakhapatnam Principal Judge. Principal Judge conducted OPs only in 27 matters because massive and enlarged the cases. Fine. The accused again moved the High Court on the judicial side. We have disposed of OPs as a land administrative tribunal. As such, the next appellate superior court is High Court only. The principal district court is neither a original court nor superior to me in land acquisition matters. Hence, filing of the cases by the principal judge, and that principal judge is now Lokayukt of AP State, Mr. Lakshma Reddy. It's not valid. So Justice Goda Raghuram and Justice Bilal Nechki stayed it on the grounds of propriety. 2 years elapsed. In the annual review, somebody woke up. Then they filed an SLP in the Supreme Court. Supreme Court, again, condemnation of delay. Ultimately, after 6 years, Supreme Court upheld the judgment of the Supreme Court on grounds of professional propriety. Saying this, they made an extra remark. In view of the long pendency of the matter, the High Court may take necessary action to implement the desirability of division bench orders dated 27/9/2002. 1990 land was acquired. 2002 Supreme Court gave an order to the High Court. Please look at it holistically. Now what the High Court has done it, I will read out the High Court operative order also. 2002 they have remitted it. 2007, 5th October 2007, High Court gave an order. This court is of the opinion that it is expedient in the interest of justice to make a complaint relating to the offences before a competent court, and accordingly we direct the Principal Junior Civil Judge Anakapalli to file complaints. Principal Junior Civil Judge. He is the guilty man. The scene of offence is his court, Junior Civil Judge. But on the judicial side, in response to Supreme Court, they gave an order. We direct the Principal Junior Civil Judge. It's a typing error instead of senior. And at that time, Senior Civil Judge post was vacant. Taking advantage of it, in 2010 August, Raja Ilango stayed all proceedings. Judge. 2010. In 2012, I was the DIG Economic Offences Wing. I looked at the issue out of academic interest. I made out a case and wrote to the Registrar General of AP High Court. Then it was High Court, composite stay. After 2 months, I gave a reply. We have nothing to do with it. You move the court on judicial side by way of writ. If move the matter by way of writ, I have to write to the government. And Additional Advocate General has to appear. There is financial implications. I wrote to the government. At that stage, I was transferred. Till this minute, we don't know where the matter is. We don't know where it is in the government, whether in the present Telangana High Court or the present AP High Court. And those 546-acre landowners, they have passed away. Their generations even would have forgotten it. And these fellows, the criminals who made the money, cases have been registered against them under disproportionate assets case by ACP. They also entered in activity. This is the criminal justice system we have. But how can a farmer be happy with our criminal justice system? Gentlemen, I am proposing before you a radical view, being a free citizen, being a concerned citizen. I knew it may not be possible to review a bit. Then what is the way out? Having analyzed the problem, how to go about? That is the question that you will be asking. It is very radical. So to be radical, there are 3 elements. Repudiate, visualize and activate. So I have repudiated our system by quoting some live cases, by quoting our judges, by quoting some of the cases. Now the alternative, what is the alternative? Means you have to learn from the emerging technologies. The emerging technologies, management and digital technology. Now there is what is called Blue Ocean strategy. It was developed in INSEAD by 2 professors, Kin and Rini. It is ruling the world. The management schools in Harvard and Stanford have fallen behind after this theory has been there. I would urge each one of you to Google what is Blue Ocean strategy. It's very simple. If a system is wrong, it is basically for marketing technique. If you want to sell water bottles, don't go into the market, same place. Compete for the existing market. Widen it. Come out. Create a new year market. You will have plenty of ocean like Blue Ocean, plenty of chances. That is simple thing. That is the business technique Google has followed. When they did not go for Y2K, they did not go for SaaS as a model. They only looked at so much of information data. They have collected the information and organized and making it available to us in a manner useful to us. New market model. Now it is the leader. Movie, Netflix, Amazon, looking at things differently. Dell computers, their marketing technique was different. They did not go for the traditional methods. They did a goodbye to the traditional methods, looked at it disruptively. And that type of approach we have to bring in even to the criminal justice system. This was followed in Malaysia. We need to have a green field criminal justice system, not a brown field. If we continue with the Begumpeta airport, our aviation sector would not have grown. Because we have come out and started a new airport, Shamshabad, now you look at the aviation sector's growth and spin-off of so many IT industries coming, thousands and thousands of crores are pouring because of the aviation, issued by the then Chief Minister. The same way you need to have a new air one. You don't want to revamp, reform, but replace it. If you want to reform the existing system, last 2 weeks back, this gentleman, Sriram Pancho, on 19th December has written an article. Ad hoc reforms like having an exclusive law for bail, etc., or rearranging the deck of chairs on the sinking Titanic. If you arrange the decks of the chairs on a sinking ship, they won't stand. Like that, our criminal justice system is also time for doing it. And more courts, more judges, etc. All these things like rolling a boulder up the hill. After you stop it, it will again roll back, roll down. So you need to have a new air system. Andukane, Justice Malamuthu Committee has said, law should not sit limply, while those who defy it go free, and those who seek its protection lose hope. Law is sitting limply now. Hence, what we have to do is we have to borrow from other countries. Justice Ramakrishna Prasad has mentioned USA, UK, France, they have modeled their jurisprudences. In 1962, the American Legal Institute promulgated a model penal code, and many states in the USA have adopted this MPC. And American Constitution also said, "We the people." And mind you, Thomas Jefferson said, "Rule of law, equal protection before law, etc." Justice Ramakrishna Prasad has very lucidly elaborated it. Even American, they say it. Thomas Jefferson in the Declaration of Independence says, "We hold the truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal." It is the bedrock of their jurisprudence. All men are created equal. Quoting this, that 14 amendments, initial amendments have been brought to it. French Code Penal is a codification of French criminal law, droit penal. It took effect in March 1st, 1994, replacing the French criminal code of 1810. So why not we do it? When France could do it, when USA could do it, when UK could do it, why not we do it? Is it difficult? The Criminal Procedure and Investigations Act 1996 of UK regulates the investigation and prosecution of criminal offences. Hence, it is possible. There are examples. Only things we should have a vision. Now, Justice Malamuthu Committee's postulates are very brilliant. And finding the truth, not appreciating the evidence. A strong victim orientation, not accused orientation. Use of forensic as well as modern methods of investigation. Reclassification of crimes with a large number of offences to be settled. For example, terrorist offences, the same procedure code. Two ladies quarrel and murder, same procedure code. And a Naxalites kill, LTT people kill, no witness will come forward to speak. The same procedure is adopted. That is the reason why the exchange of place with PWG, with Alpha take place in our society and public are appreciating it. It may be illegal, extra legal, but we the people are dissatisfied with it. Like this gentleman, there are many other things, emphasis on accountability of all those judges and much enhanced managerial and technical skills in the personnel with infusion of digital technology. Like this, we need to have with a different foundational basis, we need to have a different criminal justice system. As of now, my proposition is the common man of this country is totally dissatisfied as his appreciation of extrajudicial methods being resorted to by the prosecution and the police by way of flower petals, etc. But if you still continue to be within the same system without looking beyond, a day may come, lawyers like you might even reveal it. I have proposed repudiation, I have proposed alternative. Now action is you, the budding lawyers. You have to think on these lines, promote a movement. Nani Falkewala in those days, in the 70s, he started a forum called Forum for Free Enterprise. We as students of competitive exams who used to subscribe and read them. In those days, when socialism was the command, joint economy, public sector, etc. was there, capitalism was being ridiculed. Nani Falkewala proposed a forum for free enterprise, and in 1990s the entire world has come under privatization and liberalization. In those days it was ridiculed. Just look back historically. Like that we also should have it. Otherwise this system, this polity, this democratic polity will undergo a lot of strains. That is the reason why all the ills that we have in the form of chief minister, this man, that one, because the basic issue remains unaddressed. I am acutely aware, I am proposing something which many consider is not possible in this generation. But I am an optimist. And to those who look at me with the doubt, who are skeptical of my proposition, I only take the comfort what Bertrand Russell has said. If an idea is not ridiculed in the beginning, it means it has no future. If you ridicule this idea, I take it, this proposition has future. Thank you.